creative.
We are Liquid Creative.
We're Liquid Creative.
We are Liquid Creative.
We are Liquid Creative.
We're Liquid Creative.
We are Liquid Creative.
We are Liquid Creative.
We're Liquid Creative and we protect children.
My first experience with sexual abuse occurred when I was about 3.5 years old. And it really escalated over about the next 9 years for different types of sexual abuse. I had comments made to me by my stepfather, like, this was gonna help me be a good mother one day, this was gonna help me be a good wife. And as a child, I believed those things. And it wasn't until later on that I realized that those things weren't true at all. When I was 11, I had witnessed some sexual violence happen to another child by the hands of my stepfather. And so I remember that weekend I went to stay the night with an aunt and uncle. So when I got to their house, I followed my aunt into the restroom and I really just kind of broke down. It was like somebody had shaken up a Coke bottle and opened it. Everything just spewed out. And there was just no way of putting that cap back on. I couldn't stop talking. It was honestly the most relief I'd ever experienced in my life. It was the biggest weight taken from me. And it was like in that moment, all things clicked that I could be a kid again. The first time that I walked into the local child advocacy center that I used, we were immediately greeted by a lot of, smiling, friendly faces. It was a child-friendly environment. And I remember this woman asked if I wanted to come back and talk with her for a few minutes, and I said yes. She made me feel very comfortable and very confident that it was okay for me to talk about it, and it wasn't bad for me to say, hey, this is what happened. So I am a forensic interviewer now at a local child advocacy center, and it has been really neat to see the growth from the day I went in 18 years ago to what we're doing now to help kids who are like me. I'm Herrin, and I protect children.
I was in a situation where my child did experience abuse by someone that was well trusted in a situation in the community that had quite frequent contact. It went on for more than a year until it was disclosed what was going on. After our child was able to disclose what had been going on, we were directed to the police department since some of the abuse had happened within city limits, and we were then referred on to the sheriff's department since some of the abuse had happened in the county. It was the sheriff's department that referred us to the Child Advocacy Center in our county. And they were quick to see us and talk to us and make plans for our child to come for a forensic interview. The actual day of the interview, I was the first one there and thought I was doing fine, but it didn't take me long to totally fall apart. And their staff was very hands-on and encouraging with me, gave me time to settle down, and were very organized in a nurturing way as our child was brought into the Child Advocacy Center. From the very beginning, the professionals that were there on their multidisciplinary team were professionals that, having lived and worked in the community, we knew were handpicked for this job. They were all excellent and skilled, and it was such a relief to know that they were on the other side of the glass. the thing I think I remember most about the Child Advocacy Center in terms of what resonated with me personally was just the message to believe my child, to protect my child, and to defend my child. I believe our child's case was, without being anything specific, part of what made this booklet to be available for judges as well as lawyers. It was quite evident from our child's time in the courtroom that there was not a whole lot of sensitivity in terms of the trauma. So I'm glad they were able to see the need for this, and I think it made a pronounced effect in Mississippi. It was a nasty, nasty trial, and I hope no child or family in Mississippi or across the country has to endure what our family did and what our child did. I've read through it several times. There was something about our child's being able to be believed and to have the opportunity to be heard by those people and believed by that team of people. There was something about that complete process that I believe to this day really made a difference. Our child can go on. You know, our child deals with it and has gone on through several periods of education and is now on a postgraduate level functioning highly. My name is Julie Timm, and I protect children.
We did have suspicions that something was going on. Our child was crying a lot and becoming withdrawn. We were shocked when we found out. The way we found out was they had told a friend at school. The school had a program about what to do if something happens, you know, to protect yourself. And they said they were just tired of feeling bad all the time and being worried, and they told a friend at school. And thank God that friend told their parent, and their parent alerted the police. And that's how we found out what was going on. The way that our trial went was we were trying to have a plea, and we were pleading so that our child did not have to go to court and testify. So the first round of the trial, I guess, because it's, you know, if the judge said that they would have to testify and we didn't get a plea, then we would have to come back. So we had 8 people testifying for a whole day about what this man did to our child. And that was probably one of the hardest days of our life because we weren't allowed to react. Because if we reacted, it would be looked badly upon us. So we just had to sit there with game face. We were very lucky though that our therapist was asked to testify, and they did a wonderful job for our child. Unfortunately, our child was told that we would have to have them testify. I think 2 days before we were supposed to go, our person pleaded for 13 years. So he'll be in prison for 13 years. And then after he gets out of prison, he can have no contact with our child. If he does, he goes straight back to jail. If he doesn't do what he's supposed to do as a registered sex offender, he will go straight back to jail. So we were very lucky in that aspect of things. Just if you're a parent going through this, get your child the help they need. You know, Healing Hearts is such a wonderful program because it's no cost to us. You know, there's no reason that your child shouldn't get the help they need if it's offered. And as bad as it hurts and as ashamed as you feel as a parent that didn't know this was going on for, you know, it's not about you at that point, it's about your child. You know, your child has to live with this longer than you do. And so you need to give them the help so that they can go out into the world and be productive in society and stop this cycle of abuse. And so if anything, just make sure you get the child the help they need, and then get yourself the help you need, because you're affected just as much. Because sometimes you do feel like you're an island by yourself. People don't understand what you're going through until they're in it. So we really didn't have anybody. Thankfully, we had each other. But other than that, we didn't have anybody that we could really talk to about how we were feeling. And so just having a support group really, really helped. If it's an online support group, if it's in person, the support group, just make sure you get the support you need so that you can be there for your child when your child breaks down. And also know that some days are not, some days are a win and it's a great day, and then the next day may not be. So you're on a constant roller coaster, and that's normal, and that's okay. It's nothing you did.
Yeah, healing process. Sometimes you got to go backwards to go forwards.
Yeah. I wish that we could have known what we knew now then, because there were so many signs that we did not even see that, I'm glad that our eyes have been open to that, because now we can help other people, other children, and other families. But it would have been nice to see it then. But it has been kind of a beautiful process, like I said earlier, to see a child so broken to becoming this beautiful, confident person that stands up for themselves and stands up for others. And so while this process has not been easy, and I would not wish it upon anyone, we try to think of it as this beautiful process that's happened to us. How are we going to take it further for other people and make something out of it?
I'm Ryan Payne.
And I'm Jamie Payne.
And we protect children.
Hello, and congratulations to the Children's Advocacy Centers of Mississippi for 20 years of work to protect abused and neglected children. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of today's event. I have the honor today of introducing a close friend and former colleague of mine, Representative Bud Cramer. Our paths first crossed in the House of Representatives. We served on the Appropriations Committee and shared a common interest in strengthening our nation's defense. We also helped develop a program that even today is promoting understanding of the United States by emerging leaders in Eastern Europe and Central Asia. But even before serving in Congress, Bud was a champion for another cause. As a young district attorney in Madison County, Alabama, he saw the need to create a better system to help abused children. He gathered a group of interested parties and formed Huntsville's first Children's Advocacy Center in 1985. The center would help fill the gap between the social services and the criminal justice system. Since then, the model he launched in Huntsville has been adopted nationwide, and his tireless support of the Children's Advocacy Center model has earned wide support from both sides of the aisle. It is clear that organizations like this have helped provide hope and comfort to those most in need. In fact, through the Children's Advocacy Centers of Mississippi's efforts, over 44,000 children have been helped at 12 centers in our state. Their services have provided consistency in approaching child abuse cases where the system has not always adequately served victims. I appreciate the work that the Children's Advocacy Centers of Mississippi have done to establish training programs at over 20 institutions of higher education. Students in the fields of criminal justice, social work, nursing, psychology, law, or medicine are learning how to address child abuse and neglect effectively. These resources make it possible to raise a generation dedicated to rooting out child abuse and meeting the needs of children who are suffering. Thank you again for your work to serve the children in our state and across this nation. And thank you, Bud Cramer, for your voice and your leadership on this issue.
I'm Bud Cramer. I currently am a former member of Congress. I was a member of Congress for 18 years. Prior to being a member of Congress, I was an elected district attorney, and before that, I was an assistant DA. And in all of those careers, professional careers I've had, my Children's Advocacy Center program issues have been the most important issues to me. The issue of child advocacy, I came face to face with when I was a brand new young lawyer, just out of law school, going to juvenile court, assisting the Child Welfare Agency with the removal of children from families. Awesome sort of responsibility to think of taking a child away from a family. The reasons for that: chronic neglect, physical abuse. I didn't know anything in that day and time about child sexual abuse, but it sure taught me that the criminal justice system and the child welfare system needed to work arm in arm. And so I kind of matured my idea of what is children's advocacy. What do we want to accomplish? We want to support one another professionally as we do our mandated reaction to child abuse, but we also want to provide support to that child and that family, if there is a supportive family member, in the recovery process. So you need mental health folks. Of course, from the get-go, likely you're going to have medical exams that were done. So we don't need to be off in our separate worlds. The right children's advocacy program is going to bring all those professionals together at the table to review together. It'll spare the child and maybe supportive family member of going through interview after interview after interview, wearing them out. It will allow some of us in law enforcement with backgrounds or prosecutors as background to hold the offender accountable. That's what child advocacy in that system should be all about. My personal experience watching the development of a network of children's advocacy centers, we started by inviting 50, 60 folks from around the Southeast to come to Huntsville to kind of talk together about how they were interviewing, how they were handling cases. That grew. The next year there were 70 to 100, and there were a few centers that were being developed, some in Mississippi. The concept was this team approach. It's not a complicated process, but implementing it and getting beyond the turf issues that each agency has about sharing information or whose role in this should be that of an investigator, or is our goal in the child welfare system prosecution? Maybe not. That's the prosecutor's problem. But you put everybody at the table and you start blending together information that each of those systems can use. So those communities perfected the program. They added medical exams to be done on site. Our ticket, or our main strength, was a place where you could do this work that was a child-friendly setting. We started ours in a small house in Huntsville that was well located near downtown, so that the criminal justice system folks, law enforcement, prosecutors like me could leave our very bureaucratic buildings and we could walk down to a little house where a child might be waiting to be introduced to us in a much friendlier, less threatening, less overwhelming setting. So watching 100 of these programs come into existence, 200-300 coming into existence, hundreds now are in existence, not only around the United States, but in other countries as well. The adaptation of this model by those different countries and different states and different local communities in the United States is one of the most remarkable things I will ever have done in my life. And we give strength to one another. So when we look around at how we've grown in every state, normally that means that state legislators, state public officials become more aware of the needs program. Police chiefs or sheriffs are more inclined to assign personnel to work strictly out of the program and specialize in investigations. Develop those relationships with child welfare workers that have not always had a close relationship with the criminal justice system. Watching each state perfect that, and it was always, I was there in Huntsville, Alabama, mid-size, maybe smallish city, And my message to the rest of the country was, if we can do this in Huntsville, Alabama, you can do it in your community as well. Take this model, adapt this model, use your community's strengths, and then let's talk about how we can raise money from the community to support a significant part of the program. And they've done that all over the country. When I got elected district attorney, a grandmother brought a 12-year-old grandchild to see me. I'll never forget it. I stay in touch with that grandmother still today. And I ask about the whereabouts of the granddaughter, who's well into her 40s now, who's had significant issues as an adult survivor as she's tried to put her life back together. But taking that young girl into the grand jury, getting that young girl ready to go to court, I fumbled with her badly. I didn't think through, this is just before we started our program, I didn't think through the number of interviews she had already been through. I didn't think through that she wouldn't have any idea as a 12-year-old what it was like to go into a grand jury room with 18 people sitting around a big table, but a small room, and to tell these details of how her mother's boyfriend regularly had sexual intercourse with her. And I had to step back from that because she shut down on me. She just quit talking. And the grandmother got me to the side and said, "Mr. Cramer, my granddaughter has told this story. Listen to this. We went to the hospital. We went to the law enforcement agency. We went to Child Protective Services. We're now up here to see you in this courthouse that's a 12-story tall building, and you're going to take her into the grand jury room. She's done with this. She doesn't want to talk about this anymore." I'll never forget that case. And I had to back up, and I had to let the social worker and the mental health folks work with this young woman for a while. And then we did successfully prosecute her mother's boyfriend. That grandmother, by the way, of the 12-year-old, when we opened our house in Huntsville, our interview facility, I had her come down there and I walked her through it. And she eventually brought her granddaughter, who was maybe 15, 16 at the time. And you know what that child said to me, still 15, 16-year-old? "What was so hard about this? Why couldn't you have had a place like this where I could come to all along and I wouldn't have had to go to all these other places?" That stuck with me for years and years and years. It's important for children to have access to a children's advocacy center that provides them from the early walk-in stage with a reaction that's in their best interest. In other words, we are here to find out what's happened to you, to reassure you you're not the only person that this has ever happened to, and we've got trained therapists available to interact with this child, not just to get them ready to go to court, but to make sure that they get enough of this out to where they're a healthier later teenager or early adult or as an adult. In this effort to hold offenders accountable, to rescue a child from the trauma, help the child recover, give them the services that they need, meant that we were actually able to reduce the incidences of child abuse, particularly child sexual abuse, because we could hold offenders accountable. We could take children through the criminal justice system. So it's been very rewarding to me to see the different professions come together and to see communities come together and recognize we need to support these programs, because program financial support is very difficult in most of our communities. The agencies can provide personnel, but those personnel cannot always specialize in just child abuse cases. So the right center builds those resources, but they have to pay for the place, they have to pay for personnel to work there. It's a blend of private sector contributions along with public agency money as well. The community reactions to child abuse and the children's advocacy programs also grew and matured as we would reach out to the community and talk to them about what was coming through the criminal justice system. Public officials like me as a district attorney or a police chief or elected people, that they can inform the rest of the community that we've got a problem here. Nobody wants to see children abused, neglected, particularly child sexual abuse. So once you let the public know what you're doing, as I let the public know what I was doing, I would go to civic clubs and talk to them about the development of this program. Always, people would linger afterwards saying, what can we do to help? And we plugged those folks in by, they contributed to buy furniture, they contributed to buy equipment office equipment that we needed there, whether they're copiers, fax machines, or other technology needs to help us improve an interview room to make sure that we had age-appropriate different interview rooms, to plead our case to public health departments so that they could assign doctors to do the examinations of the children. All of that is a community response. It's not just the professional agencies, but we were impressed with, if you're going to go talk about it to your community, and you need to, the community is very likely to say, what can we do to help? Unfortunately, this kind of abuse is going to go on, and we need community resources. In order for a community to support a Children's Advocacy Center program, they of course have to know what the center is doing, what it's about, how agencies are participating in it, because all of our centers really are a blend of public monies that the child welfare workers get through their state funding. Law enforcement gets their funding from either city, county, or state funding as well. Prosecutors are funded by the state, but a lot of the people that you need at a Children's Advocacy Center program, they're not covered by state budgets or even federal connected funds as well. The programs that succeed the most get private sector contributions. And they also have benefited from legislation that's passed in the state that would give them some crime victims money that most every state has. So it's a challenge for center directors to run the program professionally for the benefit of the child and family, but also to make sure that the program is supported, that there's funding there that's appropriate. So it is important for the community to know that they can support this program, they should support this program, and that their support will allow the program to do an even better job of protecting children. I'm Bud Cramer.
I'm Senator Roger Wicker,
and I protect children.
The team approach to child advocacy really honors the complexity of child abuse. No one person can fight against child abuse. It really takes multiple disciplines to be able to help a child move forward and heal.
I always had a passion to serve. I want to make a difference in people's lives. So as my role as an advocate, I'm able to assist families find resources that they need. I'm able to work with them, getting them prepared for court, because many of them have no idea what's going to happen.
My role on the multidisciplinary team is really multifaceted. There's a lot of different components to it. I like to think that the mental health therapists are really a lighthouse. So we're the ones that children and families call a lot of times if they have a question or if they have a problem or they just need some support. We're really there to be the guides throughout the whole process of investigation. The big role that we have is assessment of trauma and then treatment of trauma.
The CAC typically has forensic interviewers, family advocates, and then multidisciplinary team support staff. And I think that our role from a Child Advocacy Center perspective is just to make sure that the team stays focused on what's in the best interest of the child.
So the role of the prosecutor in the multidisciplinary team is threefold. It really goes chronologically. The first role that the prosecutor plays is in the investigative process. Their job is to assist investigators to make sure that they're providing guidance and shepherding the case through that investigative process. The second part of the prosecutor's role in the MDT comes into play when determining whether a case should be brought forward for criminal prosecution. And they have to analyze the facts and the evidence of the case, measure it up to the laws under the state of Mississippi, and decide whether a case merits going forward. If a case does go forward, if it gets through the grand jury process and indictment by a grand jury, then the third part of the prosecutor's role comes into play, and that is to prepare the case for litigation, to prepare the case for trial, and many things go into that, from witness preparation to grand jury processes that you have to have subpoenas issued and receive documents, and then also have motion hearings and ultimately the trial and disposition of the case.
When there's a team approach, each individual discipline is able to focus on their own expertise and let other disciplines focus on their level of expertise. So for example, as a mental health therapist, if someone comes to me and asks a question about the investigation or something that's really more for law enforcement, I can tell them I don't have the answer to that, but I know somebody who does, and I can pick up the phone and call someone from law enforcement and ask and find out. So we can share information more quickly, and the families feel like there are more people on their side, and we can work together to share information, and there's less confusion about a case. So we can get questions answered between each other more easily.
Having medical personnel in the multidisciplinary team is an incredible contribution as far as creating a cohesive case. It is very important that any medical or psychological need that should be addressed for the child be recognized. Lots of children deserve forensic medical exams related to their abuse allegation, and having that medical person there can kind of help you identify those children. It helps us all be more efficient and effective in our care for kids. Even kids who maybe something might have happened a long time ago, they still deserve that evaluation, and it's helpful to have that person there just to offer that opinion, to say, there's also something else we can do for this child.
One of the best things about the multidisciplinary team approach is that the investigation is a joint process. It's something that takes into account the expertise of multiple public and private entities in seeking justice for that child. And so in years past, prior to the multidisciplinary team approach, an investigation would be led solely by law enforcement, and it would consist of their perspective and their point of view in seeking justice. And as in many aspects of businesses outside of the criminal justice profession, when you get experts from different fields who participate in that process and give you their expertise, it makes the investigation better in the end.
With CPS, Healing Hearts, the medical professionals, the DA's office, anybody else that would be involved in the case, including myself, it helps keep everything together and make sure everybody's on the same page.
I'm lucky that when I spend time with children, I have a good bit of time to do it. But lots of physicians have 15-minute wellness slots, and they're trying to get access for children to mental health that we don't have in our state. And so here in Mississippi, the challenges are getting kids what they need and getting their help accomplished in a short period of time. We can get children mental health support. We can make sure that they don't have infections related to their abuse allegations, that they don't have broken bones or injuries that need further imaging. But that's a lot for one person to figure out in a very short amount of time and get accomplished efficiently.
We can't do it on our own. Each person has a role they must play, and to make sure that the families are again receiving the justice that they deserve.
The police cannot do this by themselves. We can bring the offender into custody and take them to court and present this to prosecution and house them in a jail. But without MDT, we're not going to have the interviews we need. The families are going to be lost because I can call and check on them once a week. I can call and say, hey, how are you doing every Christmas? and try to keep updates, but I don't have any business working in psychology or treating somebody medically. That's what the MDT is about. It's a bunch of agencies, organizations coming together for the welfare of the children, the case, the families, to get the predators in most cases off the streets.
We collaborate with one another. We talk things out. We are able to communicate and bring all our perspectives together so that the justice for these families and resources and things are received towards them.
When the MDT team approach works together, it helps bring more justice because everybody has all the information that they need to be able to move forward with their part of the process. It makes the investigation more seamless. It helps give clarity in the process because everybody is clear on what they are doing and what their part is. So everybody is less overwhelmed and everybody has the information that they need to be able to make better decisions.
It makes it much easier when you're working with people who are dedicated and are as skilled as everybody that's involved with the MDT, especially when you're dealing with such a serious subject like some of the things we deal with here, such as child abuse and all that. It really helps when you have a team that's just comes together and cares as much as everybody here does.
In my nearly 20 years of prosecution experience, it has been clear to me that the multidisciplinary team approach has greatly enhanced our ability to have successful prosecutions for victims of child abuse.
You know, at the end of the day, we all have a different role that we play, but when we can come together and work jointly in investigating these cases, the real winners are the kids. You know, when we each have a different role, we each do something really well, but when we collaborate, when we join our forces together, we create better investigations, we create better cases that ultimately have better results for kids.
I'm Dr. Beth Brownlee, and I protect children.
In the past 20 years, the Children's Advocacy Centers have seen over 44,000 children, and they've helped them receive hope, healing, and justice, and that's something that should be celebrated.
Prior to the Children's Advocacy Center's existence, the child abuse investigation process was very disjointed.
To talk about the importance of child advocacy, you really have to go back to how it all started and what was not there before Child Advocacy Centers began. There were not agencies or programs in place to really address the needs of abused children.
When the first CAC directors got together to form the Children's Advocacy Centers of Mississippi, they had a vision to end child abuse in Mississippi, and that's a goal that the children of Mississippi deserve.
We're putting the child's best interests first, so the child only has to tell what happened to them to one person. So the child does not have to be re-traumatized over and over and over again.
So as we come upon the 20th anniversary, and our theme throughout everything has been I Protect Children. For me personally, for our local community, it just means that I'm going to do my best to ensure that the children of our area, that they get the best services they need.
I Protect Children means that I want to make sure that for every child who has been neglected or abused, they feel safe knowing that there is a structure available for them to give voice to their concern.
And so being able to listen to those who are the most vulnerable and then be able to take action is what I Protect Children means to me.
So we're comfortable knowing that our services have helped children who have been abused or at risk of abuse or violence in their homes.
I'm Kathy Dixon.
I'm Tanya Rohilia.
I am LeiAnn Lemons-Griffin.
I am Crystal Welch.
I'm Dr. Lisa Yazdani.
I am Carla Steckler-Ty,
and I Protect Children.
Over the years, I've seen the Children's Advocacy Center create increased access to services for our children. They've also served as a great support to the Mississippi Department of Child Protection Services and aided the workers through the investigation processes. The relationship has benefited children because, number one, it decreases secondary trauma. The children get to share their stories one time, and then the agencies can work together to coordinate needed services and supports for those children. Well, the Child Advocacy Centers have just been impactful all across the state. The child protection workers, they really appreciate the support that the Children's Advocacy Centers provide and the specialized interviews that they're able to get. It increases our chances of being able to substantiate abuse against children. I think the most important thing about the multidisciplinary team is just the different perspectives, the different professionals getting to come together and collaborate and brainstorm about what's best for the child and the family. I'm Kimberly Wheaton, and I protect children.
It's really important for people in the medical field to be educated on how to handle victims of suspected abuse, whether that be physical or sexual abuse, because there's so many things that need to be done for those children, not just in the immediate moment, but over time. Having medical personnel in the multidisciplinary team is an incredible contribution as far as creating a cohesive case. It is very important that any medical or psychological need that should be addressed for the child be recognized. Lots of children deserve forensic medical exams related to their abuse allegation, and having that medical person there can kind of help you identify those children. It helps us all be more efficient and effective in our care for kids. Even kids who maybe something might have happened a long time ago, they still deserve that evaluation, and it's helpful to have that person there just to offer that opinion, to say, there's also something else we can do for this child. I'm Dr. Beth Brownlee, and I protect children.
I always had a passion to serve. I want to make a difference in people's lives. So as my role as an advocate, I'm able to assist families find resources that they need. I'm able to work with them, getting them prepared for court, because many of them have no idea what's going to happen. When they arrive to the Children's Advocacy Center, I'm the person that they meet. I go over information with them about who we are, what we do. I give them steps of what's going to happen next. If a case has to go to court, I let them know that I'm with them throughout the entire process of it. I'm getting them prepared for grand jury, understand what that is. And if it goes grand jury, the next step after that, which is trial. And I tell them that it's always a long process. We don't know how long it's going to be. During this time, I'm able to build relationships with them. I'm able to learn about them on watch. I have 2 clients of mine that have graduated from high school, now are in college. Still working with them, just checking in on them, make sure that they're great. And they're still struggling with the abuse because they still don't have closure. The benefit of having the MDT, we can't do it on our own. Each person has a role that must play, and to make sure that the families are again receiving the justice that they deserve. We collaborate with one another. We talk things out. We are able to communicate and bring all our perspectives together so that the justice for these families and resources and things are received towards them. I'm Billy Barnes, and I protect children.
My position as a police officer impacts the cases because we literally get the complaints and prepare the affidavits, warrants, all that. We come to the MDT meetings, we collect all the evidence. If anything needs to be handled initially on the scene, we'll show up and present the case to the grand jury at some point. So I'm kind of the, I guess, seamstress of the criminal part. I bring everything together. The positive impacts I've experienced are just like any other case I would work. As iron sharpens iron, it makes it much easier when you're working with people who are dedicated and are as skilled as everybody that's involved with the MDT, especially when you're dealing with such a serious subject like some of the things we deal with here, such as child abuse and all that. It really helps when you have a team that's just comes together and cares as much as everybody here does. So I would say that is an extremely positive impact on all the cases we have and helps with the prosecution and the road to healing with the victims. MDT is a positive approach to gaining the knowledge of the abuse and getting to the case of the perpetrator. With CPS, Healing Hearts, the medical professionals, the DA's office, anybody else that would be involved in the case, including myself, it helps keep everything together and make sure everybody's on the same page. The police cannot do this by themselves. We can bring the offender into custody and take them to court and present this to prosecution and house them in a jail. But without MDT, we're not going to have the interviews we need. The families are going to be lost because I can call and check on them once a week. I can call them and say, hey, how are you doing every Christmas? And try to keep updates, but I don't have any business working in psychology or treating somebody medically. That's what the MDT is about. It's a bunch of agencies, organizations coming together for the welfare of the children, the case, the families, to get the predators in most cases off the streets. I'm Detective Will Bullock and I help protect children.
My role on the multidisciplinary team is really multifaceted. There's a lot of different components to it. I like to think that the mental health therapists are really a lighthouse. So we're the ones that children and families call a lot of times if they have a question or if they have a problem or they just need some support. We're really there to be the guides throughout the whole process of investigation. The big role that we have is assessment of trauma and then treatment of trauma. So assessment looks like looking for what happened to a child. So we use evidence-based assessment forms to find out what has happened to the child, what kinds of traumas have they experienced. And that can be anything from physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect. It can also include things like natural disasters and any other traumatic experiences that they've had. And then assessment also looks for what happened in this child's system as a result of what happened to them. So when we think of trauma, a lot of times we think that trauma is an event that happened to a child. Really what trauma is, it's what happens inside of a child as a result of what happened to them. So that's where we're looking for symptoms that they may be having. And these can be symptoms of post-traumatic stress, symptoms of depression, symptoms of anxiety disorders, or any other disorders. So we really take a comprehensive picture of what's happening in this child as a result of the trauma that they've had. So trauma is when something overwhelming happens that threatens a child's survival. And then they need to make changes in their brain to be able to cope with the trauma. So that looks like a lot of different behaviors that we might see. It can be external behaviors like lying. It can be aggression. It can be problems in school. It can be internal behaviors too. So feeling guilty, feeling depressed, feeling hopeless. And so the treatment really addresses those symptoms, and we're looking for memories that they have that are creating those symptoms. The team approach to child advocacy really honors the complexity of child abuse. No one person can fight against child abuse. It really takes multiple disciplines to be able to, what's the word that I'm looking for? It takes multiple disciplines to be able to help a child move forward and heal. So when there's a team approach, each individual discipline is able to focus on their own expertise and let other disciplines focus on their level of expertise. So for example, as a mental health therapist, if someone comes to me and asks a question about the investigation or something that's really more for law enforcement, I can tell them I don't have the answer to that, but I know somebody who does, and I can pick up the phone and call someone from law enforcement and ask and find out. So we can share information more quickly, and the families feel like there are more people on their side, and we can work together to share information, and there's less confusion about a case, so we can get questions answered between each other more easily. It can also help to give everybody the information that they need to be able to make decisions that they need to make. So as a mental health therapist, I can work with Child Protective Services and give them recommendations based on what I've seen in therapy, and it helps Child Protective Services be able to make informed decisions about placement, visitation, permanency for children, so we can work together. When the MDT team approach works together, it helps bring more justice because everybody has all the information that they need to be able to move forward with their part of the process. It makes the investigation more seamless. It helps give clarity in the process because everybody is clear on what they are doing and what their part is. So everybody is less overwhelmed and everybody has the information that they need to be able to make better decisions. I'm Sarah Moore and I protect children.
So the role of the prosecutor in the multidisciplinary team is threefold. It really goes chronologically. The first role that the prosecutor plays is in the investigative process. Their job is to assist investigators to make sure that they're providing guidance and shepherding the case through that investigative process. The second part of the prosecutor's role in the MDT comes into play when determining whether a case should be brought forward for criminal prosecution. And they have to analyze the facts and the evidence of the case, measure it up to the laws under the state of Mississippi, and decide whether a case merits going forward. If a case does go forward, if it gets through the grand jury process and indictment by a grand jury, then the third part of the prosecutor's role comes into play, and that is to prepare the case for litigation, to prepare the case for trial. And many things go into that, from witness preparation to grand jury processes that you have to have subpoenas issued and receive documents, and then also have motion hearings and ultimately the trial and disposition of the case. One of the best things about the multidisciplinary team approach is that the investigation is a joint process. It's something that takes into account the expertise of multiple public and private entities in seeking justice for that child. And so in years past, prior to the multidisciplinary team approach, an investigation would be led solely by law enforcement, and it would consist of their perspective and their point of view in seeking justice. And as in many aspects of businesses outside of the criminal justice profession, when you get experts from different fields who participate in that process and give you their expertise, it makes the investigation better in the end. In my nearly 20 years of prosecution experience, it has been clear to me that the multidisciplinary team approach has greatly enhanced our ability to have successful prosecutions for victims of child abuse. By bringing all of the necessary parties to the table, you have so many people who are interested in the protection of children and the prosecution of child abuse. But in years past, prior to the multidisciplinary team approach being instituted here in Mississippi, you would have a lot of people doing good things, but going in different directions. And a lot of people who were providing duplicate resources, or in the worst case scenario, not providing necessary resources to the child at all. And the biggest asset to the multidisciplinary team approach has been the improvement of communication that is forced upon the multidisciplinary team members just by simply bringing everyone to the table. And that has enhanced our ability to get better results in the prosecution of child abuse.
I think that there are many benefits to working as a team. Some benefits include strong case development, which leads to strong case outcomes for the families, relationship building, information sharing, and I think most importantly, families and children are receiving the services that they deserve. As team members, I think that we can work to further reduce trauma to families and children by just getting together with our local agencies, and whether that be by written protocols or written agreements that's have in place that say how our team is going to function, how our team is going to handle cases. I think in the end it will be very beneficial for families in the end.
You know, At the end of the day, we all have a different role that we play, but when we can come together and work jointly in investigating these cases, the real winners are the kids. You know, when we each have a different role, we each do something really well, but when we collaborate, when we join our forces together, we create better investigations, we create better cases that ultimately have better results for kids. So we have a couple of different staff members that attend the case review meetings and that are a part of the multidisciplinary team. So the CAC typically has forensic interviewers, family advocates, and then multidisciplinary team support staff. And I think that our role from a Child Advocacy Center perspective is just to make sure that the team stays focused on what's in the best interest of the child. And so, you know, from a law enforcement perspective, we look for arrests. From a Child Protection Services perspective, we look for the safety of the child. From a prosecutor's perspective, we look at what kind of prosecution can we offer, deliver on a case. But at the end of the day, what is in the child's best interest? Sometimes that may not be testifying in court. Sometimes that may be not staying with family. Sometimes that may be staying with family. And so the CAC's role on the multidisciplinary team is really just to advocate for a child-centered approach and to help everybody remember this is what we're here for, is the child.
Well, back before we didn't have the cooperation of the different agencies together working on the case, they're kind of independent or whatever. But once the MDTs came into effect, we were able to do the interview of the child first, then try to corroborate that child's statement by trying to find evidence to support that. And by doing that, the MDTs, we would actually see the videos, and then we're able to go out there and look for things that the child said during the interview that corroborated her abuse scenario. And we would do that by having the police officer go out and look for evidence. We'd find witnesses that corroborate that also. And by doing that, by the MDT standards, I noticed that before we had a tough time getting convictions on child abuse cases. But after we did that and were able to corroborate the child's testimony more, we had a better result of getting prosecutions and actually getting convictions on those. It's really good now because we have such trained staff on there. The forensic interviewers do a great job because if we don't have a good interview for that child initially, we can't use that interview in the court later on. So training of those particular forensic interviewers is very specific and very good. And I think because of that, it's been a great input, a big change from the time initially until today also.
Children's Advocacy Centers of Mississippi work with children who've been victims of felony-level child abuse. So that would be children who've experienced sexual abuse, severe physical abuse, or have witnessed a violent crime or a homicide. We intervene and are there from the very beginning throughout the life of the case. And so we want to make sure that children get hope, healing, and justice. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and this is a time where we can stop and raise awareness and help people stop and think about what they may do to help prevent child abuse. We're celebrating our 20th year this year, and so we decided that in honor of that, we would plant one pinwheel for every 100 children that have been seen over the last 20 years at a Child Advocacy Center. In the last 20 years, we've provided hope, healing, and justice for 44,320 children. We want children to grow up in a happy, healthy home, free from violence, exploitation, or abuse.
In this position, I have custody. Our agency has custody of 3,750 live souls right now. They're children, they're minors, they're vulnerable by definition, and they've all been traumatized in some way. I am moving into the 5th month of being the Commissioner of Child Protection Services. I am only the 3rd Commissioner in Mississippi. My role, as I see it, is to mobilize and resource and empower the 1,500 people who work for Child Protection Services. We can't do this alone. It is a big job, and while 1,500 people sounds like a lot, it is a drop in the bucket. I think looking at the pinwheels today out here in front of the Capitol, you can see how many children have been protected, and that is, we all know that's a sliver of the work that there is to be done.
My favorite hobby used to be working out at the gym with my son. When I injured my wrist, it took me away from the gym and away from quality time with my son. My super surgeon in Mississippi Sports Medicine repaired my wrist and got me back to doing what I love. I'm a super dad because I have a super surgeon. 20 physicians, 7 subspecialties, and 1 focus. You, Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center.
I love playing soccer, and I'm a big game player. But when I hurt my knee during a game, I was off the field and riding the bench. That's when my super surgeon at Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center got me off the sidelines and back to scoring game-winning goals. I'm a super athlete because I have a super surgeon, 20 physicians, 7 orthopedic subspecialties, and 1 focus, you, Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center, since 1984.
I had a lot of pain with my hip. I couldn't get around to clean or vacuum or play with the grandkids. But then my super surgeon at Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center performed a total hip replacement. And I'm pain-free. I didn't even need a referral. Now I'm a super grandma because I have a super surgeon. 18 surgeons, 6 orthopedic subspecialties, and 1 focus. You, Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center.
I've been training to be a gymnast ever since I was a little girl. So when I injured my ankle, I was devastated to take time off from my dream. My Mississippi Sports Medicine super surgeon was able to help repair my ankle and got me right back to training to be the gold medal winning gymnast I was born to be. 20 physicians, 7 subspecialties, and 1 focus, you. Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center.
With the hustle and bustle of being a busy mom, that leaves no time for an injury. Until it happens. My Mississippi Sports Medicine super surgeon used his specialized training and experience to repair my shoulder, and I didn't even need a referral. Now, I'm a super mom again because I have a super surgeon. 20 physicians, 7 subspecialties, and 1 focus. You, Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center.
Our commitment to the fellows also includes a number of benefits and perks, such as free country club and gym memberships for the fellows and their families, 2 or more fully paid academic conferences, a formalized mentorship program, and also a number of fun social get-togethers with faculty and staff throughout the year.
My name's Bill Wagnon. I'm currently live in Decatur, Mississippi, a small town in Newton County. I had a complete hip replacement surgery at Mississippi Sports Medicine. I've always been somebody who stayed in shape. It was when I just could not any longer run in the morning that I knew I had to do something. I had a friend that recommended I go to Mississippi Sports Medicine, and not knowing any physicians there, I just called and made an appointment. And I was extremely fortunate to be placed with Dr. William Johnson. I would highly recommend Dr. William Johnson to anybody that had orthopedic needs, or Mississippi Sports Medicine if it's something other than hip. It is the best care I've ever had, and I would recommend it to anyone. I had the surgery in August, and by November, I was out walking 4 miles every day, and by December, I was back to running 4 to 5 miles every day.
My name is Brenda Cummins. I am from Drew, Mississippi. I had both of my knees fully replaced. I had the right knee replaced in February 2020, and I had the left knee replaced in December of 2020. Growing up, I was very athletic, so I guess that's actually where the problems stem from. I had a very vigorous lifestyle, but in the last year or so, I had gotten to where I was very non-mobile and very depressed because my lifestyle was coming to a halt. I met with Dr. Johnson. When I spoke with him, he actually made me feel like I was the only person that mattered. He was just very, very relaxing to be with. You know, having the surgery, just my whole mental attitude is 100% better. I felt like a person again. I get up in the mornings and it's sunshine and I just want to go outside and do things. I'm going to the beach this weekend.
My name is James Hogue and I'm from Yazoo City, Mississippi, and I had total replacement for both knees. The job that I had was climbing a lot of stairs over a period of time for 24 years, and then I went into doing full-time ceramic tile on hardwood floors and getting up and bending down. That took a toll. If I walked 100 feet, I was in so much pain I couldn't go any further. I'd have to rest. Dr. Pickering, when he came in, x-rayed my legs, my knees the first time. He sat down, he came in and sat, and he said, I have a question for you. I said, yes, sir, what is it? He said, how do you walk? And I said, well, I don't walk, I wobble. And he said, well, we're going to do a surgery on you and give you a life of quality that you haven't had in a number of years. And I said, thank you. Since surgery now, I have no swelling. I'm able to go back to work and perform the duties that I had not been before. I can actually go out and play with my grandchildren and not be in pain. I can bend down, pick them up, and halfway run with them now.
My name is LeiAnn Waters. I'm from Benton, Mississippi, and I have had 3 total joint replacements, both hips and then my left knee. The first hip replacement was in 2016, and it had been giving me problems, so I was competing with horses that year, and it just became almost impossible to get off and on the horse. And so I went to Dr. Jeff Allman, and he just told me that it was bone on bone, and I asked him if he could do it that day. I was ready to have it done, and Dr. Allman was very informative, and he said if I had any problems, I felt very comfortable calling him or contacting him, and he was always there to make sure I healed the way I was supposed to heal. Dr. Allman was wonderful, and I can ride now pain-free, and it makes me a happier person.
My name is Pam McCord, and I had a total hip replacement. I've had struggles with joints and joint pain for a while. My quality of life was totally impaired, and I had gained weight because my mobility, I didn't have any mobility. I couldn't, walk my dog and do things comfortably. So I knew I had reached a point where I had to do something to again, just enhance my quality of life and get my mobility back. My surgeon was Trevor Pickering with Mississippi Sports Medicine. He knew immediately that it needed to be surgically repaired because he did an x-ray and we had a consultation together. And so when we were meeting prior to the surgery, he looked at my x-ray and he knew that it was not good. And he just totally assured me that when I was talking to him about my quality of life, he said, well, I'm going to give you your life back. And that's exactly what he did. My surgery was on a Monday. I was walking unassisted by Thursday.
My name is Benjamin Barr. I am from Canton, Mississippi, and I had surgery to fix the tendon in my left index finger. I actually cut my hand with a Cutco steak knife. It was sticking up in a sink, soapy water, just reached down in there. Didn't feel it. Those things are very sharp. I recommend them. When I was hurt, I couldn't lift weights. I couldn't hunt, fish, anything I could do with my left hand that I needed to do, couldn't do it. And most things you do need two hands to do. My surgeon was Dr. Chris Etheridge. He was able to explain in detail, which I'm really about. I like that. Every single thing that was going to happen, how long each thing was expected to take, how long I'd be in surgery, how long I'd be in certain braces or casts. It never felt like he had, something more important to do. It answered all of our questions, and he was great about it. I mean, it helped me very much. I never felt like going anywhere else. My recovery process was, it consisted of a lot of physical therapy. Since I've had my surgery and recovered all the way, I've been able to hunt, been able to fish, been able to go back to work. I work on a farm, so really need my hands to do that kind of thing. Everyday life is affected in every way.
My name is Carmen Mitchell. I'm from Madison, Mississippi, and I had a partial knee replacement. I was having knee pain. I couldn't do activities. I couldn't even walk around our neighborhood without having to stop or not being able to do it at all. Went to Mississippi Sports Medicine, and they discovered I had no cartilage in my knee. And Dr. Allman was the one who did my partial knee replacement, and he was awesome. He came in and talked with me, and he had it done as well, so he kind of put my nerves to rest. It's only been 9 weeks out since my surgery, but I can walk around the neighborhood and it doesn't hurt. Every day to every week, I could just noticeably tell a difference in my recovery.
My name is Elizabeth Jones, and I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. We moved to Madison, Mississippi about a year and a half ago. I broke my wrist playing tennis. I fell back on my hand when I went to hit the ball. My surgeon was Dr. Nicholas Jew. He casted me, and then a few days later I was out walking my dog and I fell on that cast and I broke my wrist really good. Called Dr. Jew the next morning and they got me in, and he said, "You got surgery now." My surgery was in June 13th of 2020. It didn't hurt. I mean, it was phenomenal. And their team, phenomenal. I love to work out. I love to ride bikes, play tennis. And I was very impressed at how quickly I was able to get back to my regular working out and lifting weights and stuff like that. I'm a busy mom and I gotta be able to do stuff. The surgery made such a big difference.
I'm Carroll McLeod. I'm one of the co-founders of the Payne Institute at Mississippi Sports Medicine. I became a pain management specialist for several reasons. Going back to my days in medical school, I was fascinated with neuroanatomy and the neurosciences. I went into anesthesia because I liked anesthesia and I liked the pharmacology and physiology, which has also served me well in pain management. But during that time, I realized that I really enjoyed helping people with chronic pain, and it kind of brought back the neuroscience aspect of everything, and so as well as the pharmacology and physiology, and it helped me to really find a niche that I was in love with. One of my favorite areas of pain management that I like to treat is a condition called complex regional pain syndrome. There was one specific instance of a lady that had actually had this for 2 years prior to her coming in to see me, but through aggressive management, some medication treatments, and through the will of the patient willing to work with physical therapy in a combination with us, we were actually able to turn this around. The lady's completely pain-free now. You know, she had been told by her physician that there was nothing that could be done, and we changed her life completely.
My name is Trevor Pickering. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here at Mississippi Sports Medicine, and I specialize in hip and knee replacement. ROSA robotic surgery is the latest and newest development in robotics in orthopedics, and it comes with numerous advances that benefit the patients directly. It makes the surgeries more predictable, makes them more efficient, and it makes them much more reliable because our precision is greatly increased. So for patients, they don't notice the difference in the actual surgery, but the end result can be far superior, and that's going to mean more longevity and a quicker recovery for the patient. With traditional hip replacement, the placement of one of the major components, which is the cup, is done visually by the surgeon based on his or her training. With ROSA robotics, the cup placement is determined ahead of time based on the patient's anatomy, and the robotic arm actually moves into position to assure that that placement is precise and exact, and we have confirmation that it's exactly where it needs to go. We feel that this will contribute to the longevity of the prosthesis and the hip replacement and to the benefit of the patient. We were the first to do knee replacement with ROSA robotics 2 years ago here in the outpatient setting at our ASC at Mississippi Sports Medicine. Since then, we progressed to using it for partial knee replacement, and now this past week we were the first in the United States to do a robotically assisted hip replacement using ROSA technology. We feel that this is something that we want to bring to our patients, and we're glad that we can be the first to do so because we feel it benefits our patients. We want this to be a good experience for them. But it's also a source of pride for us that this took place here and not in New York or Chicago or Los Angeles, that right here in Mississippi. I hope that it's a source of pride for Mississippians as well. The robotic technology with ROSA can be used for hip replacement, knee replacement, partial knee replacement for every patient, regardless of their age, regardless of their occupation and profession. This is meant to improve the experience for everybody, and that includes everybody from my retired lady who has a bad hip to my professional athlete who needs a knee replacement. So this technology is, yes, high-end technology, but it's for every patient who needs it.
I'm Dr. Jeremy Smitherman. I'm one of the interventional pain management specialists at Mississippi Sports Medicine. I chose pain management because it allows me to use my unique skill set to both problem solve the underlying causes of pain as well as treatment options for these patients. I treat all types of chronic pain conditions. This can involve any part of the spine. It can be sympathetically mediated pain such as complex regional pain syndrome, neuropathic pain that derives from the nervous system. It could be cancer pain, or it could even be visceral pain, which comes from the organs of the abdominal and thoracic cavities. So the way I like to treat pain conditions is on the initial visit, I take an extended period of time to listen to the patient, both the history of how the pain began as well as their current symptoms. Then I perform a focused physical exam and review any imaging available, such as MRIs, to develop a specific treatment plan. This usually involves medications and physical therapy. Because I'm an interventional specialist, I oftentimes also perform specific diagnostic and therapeutic injections. I also have a team of partners that are excellent surgeons that I can get involved when needed. I help patients all day, every day with chronic pain, and this can be pain that's going on for several months or even for several years. A specific instance would be just recently I helped a patient that had complex regional pain syndrome from an injury of their ankle. It was actually a fracture site. They had multiple surgeries of the ankle, but just continued to have pain. They had to wear a supportive boot to walk. I saw them in clinic initially, started some medications and some aggressive physical therapy. They still needed a little bit of extra help, and so we performed a series of injections. Ultimately, that patient was able to return to work. They were also able to return to wearing normal socks and shoes and go about their normal day, their normal function. Most of all, I want people to understand that they don't have to live their entire life with chronic pain. If you continue to have pain despite conservative measures, if you are still searching for the underlying cause of your pain, if you're trying to delay or even avoid surgery, or if you've had surgery but continue to have pain, then you should come and see me and I'll help develop a treatment plan that works for you.
My name is Randy Watkins. I'm from Philadelphia, Mississippi. I had to have a complete shoulder replacement. I'm a contractor, I'm a hands-on builder. I'd been having trouble down through the years, and I'm sure some of it was from heavy lifting, but I failed, and I tore a pec tendon, I tore a bicep and a tricep, and I had 4 broke ribs. It just broke, it just destroyed everything. I would absolutely, wholeheartedly suggest Dr. Randall Ramsey. Not only is he a great surgeon, I think he's an outstanding gentleman, and his staff. You feel like from the time you go in there that you possibly be the only patient they got. It's been absolutely a blessing for me not to raise my arm up or pick up something and I'm hurting. It's been wonderful. You know, I'm not 20 again, but I don't feel 63 either.
Well, you know, working from home since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic has taken a toll on the backs and necks of many adults, among other things, and there has been an increase in the number of people complaining about pain and discomfort related to neck and back issues. So orthopedic surgeon Dr. Graham Calvert from Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center has agreed to be here today to talk about this with us, and we certainly thank you and welcome you, and we appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you for having me, Howard. Big fan of the show, big fan of yours.
Well, thank you so much for saying that. Quick question here. Do you feel like you're seeing more patients with postural neck and back pain due to the pandemic?
For sure. You know, we see a lot of postural neck and back pain just in general. That makes its way to our office, and we see that, you know, year in and year out. But I will say over the pandemic, people have really kind of gotten out of their routines. You know, gyms have been closed, churches closed, schools closed, people aren't going to work, people aren't going to the gym, people become more sedentary, and that's definitely built into more paraspinal pain. And I feel like I've seen more paraspinal neck and postural related pain this year than I've seen in any other year.
Absolutely, and of course a lot of people, you know, are always bending their heads down, checking out their cell phones anyway, but working from home, I guess, with that position at a computer complicates the situation even more, right?
For sure. I can't emphasize that. It's just all about ergonomics, and it's all about standing. You know, I've seen it more in teachers. I've seen a lot of teachers this year. You know, teachers typically sit down to do lesson plan, but they usually stand all day and teach. So a lot of teachers have been sitting, just like I'm sitting with you right now, and Zooming with their students all day, and then doing lesson plans and sitting. So they've become more sedentary, and I've seen a lot more teachers with neck and back pain. And it's really just a matter of kind of getting them back active, getting back to exercising, and getting them back to standing more.
Absolutely. I know our parents always used to tell us to sit up straight, son. So that's a piece of advice I guess we still need to adhere to. Do you see working at home during the pandemic being beneficial or problematic for postural neck and back pain?
It really depends on how you look at it. For most people, it gets them out of their routine. Most people are used to going somewhere for work and then going somewhere like to a gym to work out, and being out of that routine and being home all day, they're not as, maybe don't have the, just the encouragement or the will to want to get up and go work out. And so they just might as well stay home, and they're not as active, and so they don't work out, and they put it off, and then they don't get around to it. It's just like anything. If you don't get up and go and don't get that accountability amongst being amongst other people working out, you're not as likely to do it. So I feel like, the pandemic and having people work at home has definitely caused a lot more postural neck and back pain, as opposed to just being involved in a normal routine.
Yeah, and you probably already answered this last question, but if you would reiterate, what can people do to prevent and or address postural neck and back pain?
Oh, well, gosh, they can do a lot of things. The biggest thing is get up and get more active, stand more. If you find that you sit for most of the day, you have a sedentary job, maybe watch the clock, and every 5 minutes before the hour, get up and stand and move around. They say, there's kind of a saying, we laugh about this around here, that sitting is the new smoking. If you sit too much, it's not good for you. You need to get up and stand and move around. Get back into the gym. I tell people, try to exercise 45 minutes a day. Try to do core strengthening, exercise your neck and postural muscles, stretch more. Of course, we can get people plugged into physical therapy. I can get you plugged into a life coach. Most of the time, you don't need a doctor if you have postural neck and back pain. People do come see the doctor just to make sure nothing's wrong. Usually there's nothing wrong with their back. It's just a matter of kind of getting that core strength back. So the biggest thing is ergonomics. Get your screens up, stand more, exercise more, get more active. Don't sit all day.
Great advice. Thank you so much for joining us. Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Graham Calvert from the Mississippi Sports Medicine Orthopedic Center. We certainly thank you for joining us. And folks, listen to that advice and act upon it. We'll be back with more after this.
Are you having trouble seeing the details? If you're in your 30s or 40s and up-close items are appearing blurry, you may be experiencing farsightedness. Jackson Eye Associates is here to help you get back to seeing the whole picture. Let our team give you the individualized eye care you deserve and send you home with a stylish pair of frames from JEA Optical. Let us be there for every member of your family. Your vision, our mission. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment today.
Are glasses getting in the way of your teen's life? Jackson Eye Associates are here to help your teen make the seamless transition from glasses to contacts, whether they are getting in the way of the hobbies they love or they want to upgrade their style. Our physicians and opticians are here to help give your teen the individualized eye care they deserve. No matter your age or eye care need, let us be there for every member of your family. Your vision, our mission. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment today.
The eye is one of our body's most complex organs, with more than 2 million working parts. As Mississippi's largest eye care provider, JEA's board-certified physicians serve pediatric to geriatric patients with comprehensive eye exams, surgeries, and high-level treatments. Come examine JEA for yourself. Visit JEA online and schedule your appointment today. Your vision, our mission.
Welcome to JEA Reimagined. All of our offices have merged into one convenient, easy-to-access Madison location where all your eye care needs are met. Board-certified specialists with cutting-edge knowledge and a wealth of experience to deliver the special attention and treatment you have in mind. Schedule your appointment and find out for yourself. Jackson Eye Associates, your vision, our mission.
When school starts, trouble seeing often means trouble learning, and your child's eyesight is a big deal. So don't put off that back-to-school eye exam with Jackson Eye Associates. JEA provides complete eye care, from comprehensive eye exams to eyeglasses, contacts, and everything in between. So schedule your back-to-school appointment today and visit JEA's Optical Boutique, Jackson Eye Associates, in Jackson, Madison, and Clinton. Your vision, our mission.
We know you're busy, but scheduling a comprehensive eye exam with Jackson Eye Associates is as easy as making your weekly manicure appointment. And healthy vision is a big deal. JEA offers complete eye care for the whole family with experienced, highly trained, board-certified ophthalmologists. And for sunglasses, prescription glasses, or contacts, visit JEA's Optical Boutique, Jackson Eye Associates, in Jackson, Madison, and Clinton. Schedule your eye exam today. It is a big deal.
The daily routine. We all have one. And just like brushing your teeth every morning, getting a regular eye exam at Jackson Eye Associates should be routine too. Call JEA or go online today to schedule your comprehensive eye exam. And while you're there, visit JEA Optical for designer frames and contacts. Make it routine, because taking care of your eyes is a big deal. Jackson Eye Associates in Jackson, Madison, and Clinton. Your vision, our mission.
Home is where the heart is. We share our experiences. We teach our children. Then, out of nowhere, blurred vision changes everything. Reading a simple recipe becomes difficult. Is this normal vision loss or something more serious? My Jackson Eye Associates physician put me at ease. JEA's highly skilled physicians are the key to my care. Jackson Eye Associates, your vision, our mission.
Most likely, you have heard the more common complaints. The appearance of color is dull and just doesn't seem that vivid. You may notice that the sun and other lights seem too bright. These are all telltale signs of cataracts. But what we may not know as well, cataracts aren't just for the elderly. Cataracts do not discriminate. Trust your vision with Jackson Eye Associates. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment today.
Let Jackson Eye Associates be there for every stage of your life. JEA treats congenital eye problems in infants and children. Many problems can be corrected if caught and treated early. So it's important to call or visit us online to schedule an eye exam. JEA is prepared to serve you for a lifetime, no matter your age or eye care need. Let us be there for every member of your family. Your vision, our mission.
Convenience. It's what we all want in today's busy world. Jackson Eye Associates is delivering what you want, all in one location. Experienced specialists and surgeons in our clinic and on-site surgery center. Visit JEA Optical for your glasses, contacts, and sunglasses. It's full circle care. JEA, it's the right fit. Make your appointment today.
Every day is an adventure, especially with Charlie. But when Charlie gets excited, accidents happen. That's when Oxfordortho and Sports Medicine fixed everything. Their board-certified subspecialty trained surgeons were focused and efficient and got me and Charlie back to our next adventure fast. Call for an appointment. Oxfordortho and Sports Medicine in Oxford, Grenada, Batesville, Hernando, Cleveland, Calhoun City, and Pontotoc. They get you moving again.
I always enjoy working in my garden, but it turned into a real adventure when I hurt my hip and knee. Luckily, Oxford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine was there to help. Their board-certified surgeons are efficient and patient-focused and ready to treat me with the most up-to-date procedures. They helped me up when my hip and knee got me down. Oxford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine in Oxford, Grenada, Batesville, Hernando, Cleveland, Calhoun City, and Pontotoc.
Are you tired of watching your life from the sidelines? Have you let joint pain steal your joy in life? Well, you don't have to suffer anymore. The orthopedic specialists at Oxford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine specialize in returning you back to the active lifestyle you desire. We perform routine procedures to make pain-free movement possible. Stop living with pain and get back to enjoying life. Oxford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, because life is a sport.
My name is Kate Royals. I'm from Jackson, and I am the lead education reporter for Mississippi Today. It's important for people to read Mississippi Today if they want to be informed about issues that really affect them overall as a state and as a people and in the communities. It's information you need to know, and it's information you want to know.
I'm Thomas Mayfield from Vicksburg, Mississippi. I read Mississippi Today because it's a little different news source than what I'm used to growing up. It's something that relates to me as a young person. It gives me stories that matter that I normally wouldn't get in a lot of different news sources around the state of Mississippi. Not just reporting something just because it's going to get readers, but reporting something that's going to make people want to do better.
I'm Kristen Dechert,
and I work in communications at a nonprofit consultancy. If I could describe Mississippi Today in one word, I would describe them as bold. They're bold in their reporting, they go after tough stories, and they dig deeply into things for long periods of time. Very bold in how they report, and they're looking at the deep questions for how life can be impacted here in Mississippi.
Hi, my name is Kayleigh Skinner, and I'm the managing editor at Mississippi Today. Since I came to Mississippi Today, it's been really wonderful to see the power of journalism. We played a role in the change of the state flag. We've helped spur lawmakers to take actions on things that frankly they might not have otherwise. We've seen laws change since our journalists have started their work, and we think it's really important to do that and do that well.
My name is Bryan Casillas. I am from Vicksburg, Mississippi, and I am an engineer for the U.S. Army. Mississippi Today has really helped me feel more like a Mississippian. It's made me feel a lot more informed about what's happening in the state. They really cover a broad range of things, and I feel like it has really helped inform me on where I can be more impactful in the state.
The fight against child abuse begins with you. Exercise your legal responsibility by reporting child abuse to the Child Abuse Hotline, 1-800-222-8000. You are legally a mandated reporter. That means you are required to report suspected child abuse or maltreatment. Call the 24-hour Child Abuse Hotline, 1-800-222-8000. All calls are anonymous. Be proactive. Be responsible. Message from Sally Kate Winters Family Services, your local United Way agency.
2.8 million youth run away each year. Right now in your town, there are homeless and runaway youth who need help. Sally Kate Winters Family Services gives kids ages 12 to 21 a safe place to stay, crisis support, and counseling to improve their quality of life. If you or someone you know needs help, contact us at 1-800-RUNAWAY or at sallykatewinters.org. Sally Kate Winters Family Services, your safe place.
Welcome to the Dapper Donut, where we feature hot mini donuts. Because our donuts are mini, we don't sell them individually. We sell them in packs of 6, 12, 24, and 48. We have 21 different flavors to choose from. In a 6-pack, you get 2 flavors. In a 12-pack, you get 4 flavors. In a 24-pack, you get 6 flavors. And in a 48-pack, you get up to 10 different flavors. In addition to our donuts, we sell coffee drinks, refreshers, blended drinks, donut milkshakes, and several different bottled drinks. Hi there, welcome to the Dapper Donut, where we feature hot, fresh mini donuts. Because our donuts are mini, we don't sell them individually. We sell them in packs of 6, 12, 24, and 48. We have 21 different flavors to choose from. In a 6-pack, you get 2 flavors. In a 12-pack, you get 4 flavors. In a 24-pack, you get 6 flavors. And in a 48-pack, you get up to 10 different flavors. In addition to our donuts, we sell coffee drinks, refreshers, blended drinks, donut milkshakes, and several different bottled drinks. See you curbside.